still a business, right? You still have to make sure the letters go out timely. You have to make sure you get the correct information. All of that is still operating within a nice, organized form, right? And I want to go ahead and help you do that. So with Dispute Panda, the standard platform for you to generate letters and house your client's information is free. That is what it says, $0 for you to house your client's information and for you to use the system month after month after month. The only thing you're paying for is the round of attacks each month, which is the round of letters that are being generated for your clients. Excuse me. The pro version, however, allows you to have an accessibility to a safe client portal. What that means is that if your client, if you have a client and you're doing this as a business, or if you're doing it with your family, right? You can charge your family. Just a heads up, if y'all didn't know, I charge my family. Okay. So you can go ahead and still charge your family. It is $197 a month. It's $1 for 14 days and then $197 per month thereafter. And it gives you this client safe portal where they can log in, sign the contract, make the payment, upload the documents, whatever you kind of want to communicate within that platform. It gives you the ability to do that for that $197. So the free platform only allows you to do a client manager, which means you have all your clients in one system, all their documents in the system, their passwords to their credit monitoring in the system, and you can see that information. If you get an admin or anything like that, they can come in and you can give them access to the software just to run the clients, but all of that is free, right? If you include the client portal, that goes to the $197 per month. And you have the option for the yearly payment plan. And that yearly payment plan does give you 2 months for the free $99. Okay, 2 months free when you sign up for the full year. So I wanted to cover that, and then I'm going to slide up to the top of the page. So if you guys were looking for this information, we're going to drop it in the chat as well so that you have access to it on your own. So if you guys are by your computer and you want to follow along, I want you to have accessibility to all of the information I'm giving right now. Some of the stuff I'm going to touch on this page, some I'm going to touch when I get into the software itself, because it's going to make more sense as we flow through the software in its entirety. So the pro, the calculator, and the integration are all a part of the pro feature, which is that $197 per month. I'm going to dive into that once we get into the actual sign up, after we've signed up and logged into the platform, right? One of the things I like to point out on this page is no matter where you are in Dispute Panda, there is a training tab. I'm pointing this out because I want y'all to know that when we are not here on Monday and Wednesday, you do have, of course, customer services 24/7, but you have all the training material that you need in order to be successful actually at your fingertips, okay? So if you physically go and you click on the training tab, it will take you to this window. A lot of people see this information and completely disregard it, but this is where your bread and butter lies. Let's put it that way. You would click on this button here for the free download, and it actually provides you with a step-by-step guide. Let me move this out of my way, guys. A step-by-step guide as to how you should be disputing your actual files. Okay, so hang on one second. Let me go to Dispute Panda doc guides. Okay. So it downloads a PDF for you that you have accessibility to that automatically teaches you how to dispute credit files. So whether or not you know how to do credit repair, this software is giving you a free tool on what letters you're supposed to pick, in what orders they're supposed to go out, and then if it's supposed to be certified or non-certified. Right? All that information is readily available for you on the training tab. Also, when you scroll it down, it has a plethora of videos accessible for you to know how to do everything from sending around, the variations to the attack types, how to upload your information, whether you're using Smart Credit, Identity IQ, My Score IQ, or the Dispute Panda option. L Branch says, how do I add my affiliate links for Identity IQ and Smart Credit? So I can show you that once we get into the platform. You would actually have to do it under the settings tab. So once we get into the software, I'll definitely show you how to add those links. Follow-up question to your question: do you have the pro version, or do you have the free version? L Branch, just to ask since we're here. I'll check back the chat in a second. You have the pro. Okay, yeah, so that's fine. I'll show you how to do it, how to add it's under the same tab you would go to actually put in the company logo and all of that information. Under that section is where you'd be able to find that stuff, but I'll be walking you through that as well. So you hang tight, we'll be going through it together. So yes, if you guys have any questions or concerns, and it's not a Monday, it's not a Wednesday, you can't book a call with me, and you're like, hey, I need to get some information, I want you guys to understand that there is a training video that Mr. Brown has already set up that will walk you through if I'm not accessible to you guys, myself, David, or JM. Right? Of course, shameless plug, I will tell y'all again, join the community, because if you have questions and you don't want to necessarily do customer service, but you do want to get your questions answered, you can always leverage a community as well to get the sauce that you need. So for those of you that just came in, that are new, on the homepage of Dispute Panda, the very first thing, so sorry, the very first thing is a training tab. You want to click free download. And James said, can you use the guide Dominique posted in the chat group if you don't have the pro? So the answer to the question is you can use the guide that Dominique is telling you about if you don't have the pro. And I'm going to show everyone the guide in a moment once we get to that section. The new guide and the new flow is in conjunction with the pro, because the goal is for you to send letters to the creditors as well. But if you do not have the pro, you can still use that workflow to get the movement that you're looking for in regards to your client's profile. Great question, James. Great question. All right. So we've covered the training tab. The next tab that I love and I like to talk about is the contact tab. So if you have any questions, I've already said this before, customer service is open 7 days a week, 24/7, out. They're here for you, okay? You can shoot an email if there is a client-specific question. Hey, Bobby Turner, the documents are not working. You can go ahead and put the client's name, the exact issue that you're having, and then it will go to customer service. I like to tell everyone to use Loom, Loom. It gives you an ability to record 5 minutes of content. So you can actually do a screen grab and show them exactly what's going on instead of just telling them what's going on. Because sometimes we are visual individuals, right? So you want to give them as much context as possible. And the Loom video allows you to do that. And it is for the free 99. So I'm always about that, okay? Malik's question is, what happens after you send your first round and you receive a letter from one of the CRAs saying that your letter appears not to have come from you? What do you do? That is a great question. If you can raise your hand, Malik, and when we get to Q&A, because that section, the answer to that is going to be in the software once we get in. I'll be able to show you, and then I definitely want to know the example of what CRA sent you that information so that I can dive in and give you a clear answer. So give me 1 second. Let me get everyone into the software, and then we can talk methods, all right? Because I like talking methods. Okay, y'all. So now that we've gotten over that, the contact tab also has a general question form. So if you guys are in need of just asking a general question, like you guys have a TV show coming up, right? And you want to have a press contact, or you want to be a beta tester, or you want to have some partnerships, you guys don't have to feel like you have to go through regular channels. You can come under general questions, select that information, and Bob's your uncle, they will go ahead and respond back to you. So I love the fact that you can ask client specific questions, or if you want to be a beta tester for new flows that are coming out, you can put your name in the hat for them to consider you as an option. Okay. So with that being said,
yeah.
before I get started, are there any questions with what I have already shown so far? No. There are new people in the room. So again, if you guys have Dispute Panda, meaning you've already signed up for Dispute Panda, please drop a panda in the chat. If you guys have not signed up for Dispute Panda and you guys are doing it with me together on today, go ahead and drop a heart in the chat. That'll be great. Ty, welcome back. Hey, is it Joanna? Hey, Joanna. Welcome. Hey, love. How's it going? Okay. A does not have Dispute Panda. Great. So we're going to, A, are you by your computer? Let me see. Yes, you're by your computer. Okay. So we're about to get started with the sign up. I'm going to drop the sign up link. Come on, Malik. With the pandas. Panda. I want to let y'all know how corny I am, that every time I post about Dispute Panda, like on my Instagram that I'm about to go live, I drop the panda beat, okay? Because designer made that for us. So if y'all ever see my reels or anything go out and you hear panda, know that I just like to make fun of things, okay? And if it works, it works. That's all I do, okay? All right, so we are about to get started. Hey, Tim, welcome. All right, so we have Stevie's coming in. We have a few people coming in. Thank you guys for all of those that dropped the panda to let me know that you guys are already here. For those of you that dropped another emoji, the heart emoji, to let me know that you don't have it, that's cool. So for those of you that already have the Dispute Panda app platform, I want you guys to hang tight. I'm going to go through sign up for the people who are here that don't have it as of yet. After I go through the sign up, I'm going to open the floor for a quick questionnaire about sign up, and then we're going to dive into the settings that are there, load our client up, and then we're going to print our first round of letters. All right. So let's get into it. All right. So this information is strictly for the owner of the platform. So I, as Raquel, doing business as Raquel or us, okay, I can choose to use this platform as a consumer, meaning a person who is just fixing my own credit. Or if I have a business, I can go ahead and leverage that information as well for my business, right? What you want to do is make sure that if you are using this platform as a client as well, you have to have two separate emails. So there's one email as the owner of the platform, and then there's a whole nother email as the user of the platform, meaning the client that you're loading into the software. So for instance, if I'm going to be leveraging this now, I'm going to do Stormy 2023 at Gmail. Well, I cannot use this email as the client, okay? I would have to use a completely different email. So if you don't have multiple email addresses, please go ahead and make sure you create another one just so you can have that one specifically as access to as a client. I always give a pro tip to my clients, and this is just like a savings hack that I normally give my clients. is that if you're going to be doing certain things, like I have one email just for like credit cards, like sales for different companies. Like I have an email that's dedicated to that. So if I know I'm going to go to JCPenney and I want a coupon, it's not flooding my standard email, if that makes any sense. It's only flooding this junk email that I created. So just a quick tip, if you guys are trying to gain a control over your finances and y'all are shopaholics like I am, that's a good way to not get the announcements to come to you like every day, all day. Can you change the email you signed up with Pro? That's a great question. I would say to send that question to IT, to customer support. I'm not quite sure if they'd be able to swap it out, but that would be your point person to ask that question. It's a good question, El Branch. I never thought about that. I would assume that you can change it, but I would say send a message to customer support at info@disputepanda.com. And they will be able to answer that question for you. All right. So you want to go ahead and put the email in. And then, oh, look at JM pulling up on me. That's what I'm talking about. 3707. So you want to put your phone number in. If you are doing this as a business, by all means, go ahead and put the business name in. If you are not doing it in business right now, but in the future you change, I will show you in the software where you'll be able to change that information in real time. Okay. But this is just for now. Hold on one second. Stormy2023@gmail. All right. So the password, you want to create your own password that will be feasible for you to remember. Please remember, whatever this password is, this is what you're going to use to log into the software. I personally like to sign up for email and special offers because I like discounts. Okay, my name is Flo and I like discounts. So with that being said, I do normally go ahead and sign up for those things. This once you click enter, it will take you to the service agreement screen. This is basically explaining how Dispute Panda does business, what your requirements are to be in business with us, and what our requirements are to be in business with you. I'm not going to read over everything, but you guys can read this over. Sorry, guys. You guys can read this over at any time. I always recommend that you go ahead and look over the information. Once you are able to get into the software, you will have access to this dashboard. Now, it is going to say resend verification email. What that means is that once you've created your profile, an email was sent to that link that you have to verify the email. You do not have to do that right now. Okay. But within the next 24 to 48 hours, you want to go ahead and get it set up. So since you were the only one that notated so far that you didn't set up, have you been able to get here? Do you have any issues with what we've done so far? Or do you have any questions about what we've covered? Anyone? Anyone? No? Okay, looks like we're good. No issues or Austin? Or questions. Okay, cool. I was like, how you know I live next to Austin? Okay, no worries. Good. All right, so I love to talk about this primary screen. This primary screen gives you a lot of information. Now, if you are a pro user, there are a little bit more benefits that you get on the platform, and I'm gonna highlight those as I go. But one of them is the birthday announcement. So what ends up happening is when you come on here, anytime you load your clients in and you send a round out, or if there's documents missing, that information will actually populate on here for you. So you'll be able to see it. But a pro benefit is that you do get the birthdays for your clients that are notated. If you want to upgrade or upgrade to pro, you can simply click this link here and you can go and upgrade to pro. Again, it's $1 for 14 days, and then you're billed the $197. Right now, as far as credit monitoring, I know that someone else had a question about credit monitoring, which I'm going to dive in when we get a little further. But one of the perks that I wanted to talk about with Dispute Panda is that you get to earn money from people signing up with credit monitoring. We all know that there's different credit monitorings that are out there, but I want to touch on the benefit of Credit Dyno. So Credit Dyno, you can sign up for the affiliate link. It is free 99 within the platform. All you have to do is put your information in here, and it will automatically register you. You'll have your dashboard, and you'll be able to send this link out to your clients like, hey, you might want to go ahead and check on your credit score. When's the last time you checked on your credit score? Things of that nature, right? So you can get $8 commission with the standard, and there are different packages for Credit Dyno. But one of the perks with having Credit Dyno is that it's integratable with the Dispute Panda system in such a real way that you are able to generate creditor letters to send out to dispute for your client, as well as letters to the credit bureau. The benefit of that is the creditor can stall out, right? When you're going through the credit bureau, they can not respond, or the credit bureau can not send the request directly to the creditor, right? But if you send a letter to the credit bureau, to the creditor, they have to respond, right? And there's a process if they don't. And it gives you more movement and more traction when you're competing or you're disputing with two sides of the house, not just one, right? So I like to think of it as like a kid that's trying to ask their mom and dad to go out the same place, but they don't ask at the same, they ask at different times. So dad might say no, but you go to mom and mom might say yes. It's kind of the same premise with the software. But one of the other things that I think is exceptional, that is different to the other credit monitoring softwares, is that this credit monitoring software gives you the full 7-year report. If you look at the other competitors that are out there, it's only giving you 2 years. So it's not showing you outside of that 24-month window, when was your client actually past due with something, if it's falling outside of that 24-month window. So you can educate them, because they'll look at the credit report and be like, it says I'm current, but over here it says I'm delinquent. Now you're able to give them a full 7-year report, and you don't have to wait for the disputes to come back, right? So that is something that I truly, truly love. Those are the 2 benefits right off the top that helps. Now, the third benefit is, if you have your clients or yourself sign up for Credit Dyno, every 35 days, you get a free credit pull. So that means, you get a free attack round. So that means every 35 days, when you go in to send off the next round of attack, that attack is free because you're leveraging Credit Dyno. So in essence, you're operating for $0. You don't have to pay the $17 for the attack. You don't have to worry about that processing at all, because of the fact that your client was using Credit Dyno. So definitely sign up for the affiliate link, guys, if you guys are ready to. And then also, don't forget, if you guys are doing this yourselves, to go ahead and sign up for Credit Dyno so that we can help with showing you the one-click import. That's the 4th thing that's amazing. With Credit Dyno, you don't have to go to the actual credit monitoring software, log in, update the report, and then, download it or save it to your hard drive and then transport it over here. You literally just go into your client's profile, you click one-click import, and it updates the client's profile for you every 35 days. So it's a win-win situation, and it cuts down on additional steps. So any questions on what I've covered so far? If not, we're going to go over to the left bar, where we're going to cover all of the wonderful settings that are over there. And I'm going to show you guys some cool screenshots that I took. Okay. And I took from JM. Shout out to JM. About the platform. So hang on. We're going to get started. So in order to load clients in, or to search for a client, you can search for a client up here. You do have to go ahead and have at least 3 characters in order for it to pull clients. Of course, I don't have any clients right now, so nothing is going to pull, right? And right here is also where you can pull your clients. So you can see your active clients if you have them. You can also see your inactive clients, so anyone who has aged out of your account, no longer needs your support, things of that nature. If you are doing this as a business and you are leaving leaving a company to come over here, you can click on the import option. You can import a CSV file and all of your clients' information will come in. If you are having an issue, please, please, please don't hesitate to reach out to our info at Dispute Panda team. You can send them the CSV file and they will help you import if there is an issue. All right. Or if you're getting new clients, you can click the new client button and add your client's information into the software. We're going to do that in a moment. Let's just finish running through the settings on the side. Okay. So letters gives you the ability to go ahead and send out letters for your clients. It gives you the ability to see the letters that have been sent out for your clients. You also have the ability to see what the guidelines are if you want the system to mail the letters out for you. I like to be transparent, you guys. I personally do not use the mailing system. It has nothing to do with the platform. I just have 2 printers in the back and I have 3 kids that like to make money. So it's easier for me to go ahead and print out my client's information at that time. I do have an accountability partner who does use the mail within Dispute Panda. She's never had an issue. The guidelines are they do send mail out Monday through Friday. The cutoff time is 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that for it to go out the same day. If not, it goes out the next day. For me, I do batch lettering, to be quite honest, and I do Loom videos for my clients. So a lot of times what will happen is I'm doing a lot of printing on Saturday. We go to the post office on Wednesdays, and Saturdays are my 2 days that I go. I go with my 6-year-old because he's my bodyguard. Okay. So it's just a good thing for me. If it's more convenient for you, you don't want to have to worry about the stamps. You don't want to have to worry about printing anything out. You can also include the pricing. Like once you guys get a flow of everything, you can include what the pricing would be if you decide that you want to use a system as a mailing support for you. You don't have to worry if you're doing things as certified mail. You don't have to keep going to USPS. The tracking information will be on the platform for you to see if you're sending out letters certified, or just for transparency, if you're sending them regular mail, which is first class, there is no tracking on them. So what that means for you is that you are just like if you were to take a letter to the post office and just drop it in there, you're hoping that it's going to get there. It's the same premise. Again, I haven't had any issues, but I wanted to go ahead and give you guys the sauce on it. So it will go ahead and tell you the client's name, the type of round that you selected for the client, as well as the date, time. And if you have a tracking number, that information will be located there as well. All right. The inbox option is a pro feature. This is a part of the Safe Client Portal access where your client can send you emails. You can send them emails within the platform itself. And that way you're able to see all of the things and you guys are able to communicate without having to worry about anyone breaching any systems. This is all safe and secure. Okay. Again, that's a pro feature. Now, this share feature is an option for the reports for you to see the changes, and you actually can do it per client, but you can also do it as a business. So hold on. So for instance, you can pull the report and you can share this as a Instagram story or a what's the other word I'm talking about? A social media blast, right? Like this. It will have your company logo if you have the logo. If you don't have a logo and you're doing this for yourself and you just want to show your family and friends, like, look how much debt I got off, right? You can literally get this information and share it. So it's on the client level, but it's also on the company level that you're able to show, look at how much money I've been able to get removed from my client's profile. And you can get it to be shared on the social media platform, like I said, for the individual or the corporation. So this right now is on the business platform, the main dashboard. But when you go into the client, you can see that information too. It is so dope. I just got it. I just saw it from my client. I don't know if any of you guys follow me, but like I'm posting it in my stories in 2.5 seconds again, because I just did some clients on Sunday and I was so excited to see how much debt was deleted, because a lot of people are looking at the scores, and that's great. Like, I'm not going to tell you not to focus on the scores, but a healthy body, think about it, a healthy body on your report, getting rid of like thousands of dollars of debt, right, is really something impactful for me that I also stress when it comes to my clients as well. So I want you guys to see this option and what the report looks like, because I thought it was really fun and funky for me to use. So that's what it looks like. You can also leverage that information on the client level to have a really in-depth conversation with the client on what has changed, what has progressed. And actually, as you scroll down in the client information, it will show you like what has been 100% deleted, what is still out there that's negative, under which credit bureau. So from month to month to month, you'll be able to see that information. So it's a great way to educate, uplift, and kind of maneuver while you're going through, okay? The subscription tab is also a pro feature. The subscription tab gives you access to different payment forms, different types of subscription methods for your clients. So for instance, if you are doing a done with you service, which I do offer, my done with you service, I print the letter, like I don't print the letters, I download the attacks and then I drop it in Dropbox for my client to have. And then my client is the one that mails the letters out for themselves, right? Do that month to month. Trust me, when I switched a lot of my clients over to Credit Dino and was able to get them the letters with the actual creditors, the way that they moved were completely different, because they were like, hold up, wait, these are a lot of letters. Yeah, go ahead and use some stamps, big fella. Go ahead and use some stamps. Okay. So you can, if you can have a done with you service, you can have a done for you service, and you can put those pricing plans together, and it gives you the ability to set that up. And this is a pro feature. Of course, like I stated before, you can always get to the training platform, especially inside. So if you have any questions, concerns, or if you got a new computer and you don't have the download for the attacks, you can click the button and it will download the attacks for you in real time. As a matter of fact, look at that, Jack. It has been updated, y'all. Let's get into it. So we are going to be looking over the new flow. Okay, so for y'all that came in, I'm so excited that it has already been updated. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? I'm so excited. Okay. Let me get out of this. Why did I click this button? Click this button. All right. And then of course, if you want to do the contact us, you can click the contact us tab and get exactly what you need. Look at JM. Yes, JM. I'm so excited. Thank you for putting that in there so that everyone can get it. All right. So I'm going to dive into the billing, and then we're going to go over the settings really quickly so that you guys have a clear idea of how you can load funds onto the platform in order to generate rounds. So if you guys are taking on clients that are already with another credit monitoring software, please understand that it's $17 an attack, which means per month, it is $17 to generate a round of attack for that specific client, okay? So you can go ahead and order in bulk, like I'm going to order $250 because I know I have 10 clients, 20 clients, or whatever the case may be, right? Or if you guys are starting off small and it might just be you and your husband, you can go to the subscribe and save plan. So what took place is that Dispute Panda's back-end office realized that people were purchasing a certain amount of credit. So it was either $20 or $60. And they were like, okay, we want to reward people that sign up for a monthly membership, that they're able to get 50% more credit because of the fact that they signed up. So if you get $20, you get $30 every single month that you pull it off of the credit card that you load here. Or you can sign up for $60 worth of credit and you'll get $90 every single month. I want to stress the importance that any card information that is loaded onto this software should be your card as the account holder. So what that means is if you're fixing credit for your cousin, you're fixing credit for your boyfriend, girlfriend, aunts, uncles, you want to make sure that your credit card is the one on file. If you're going to charge them just at cost for generating the rounds and they're going to send off the report themselves, then that means every single month before you go and pull in the letters, they're paying you $17, and then that money is coming off of your card, not off of their card. So I want to stress that, because there were some glitches, and we definitely don't want there to be any chargebacks or issues on the back end for anyone. You can also store your card information as well as your ACH if you'd like to be able to leverage and use it later. All right, so that's the billing tab. But let's get into this, okay? The profile tab is your information. So you as the owner, you have your own tag, your own tab. You can put your picture in here and zip and do. So now whenever if you upgrade to the pro, they'll be able to see your face and all of those good things. It is not something that you're required to do, but I do want to let you know. This is where you can also go and reset your password, okay? If you have a corporation and you already have your logo, all of your information, your website information, your email, your privacy information, your address, as well as your service agreement, all of that is under this tab that says organization. This is also where you go to add additional people. So if you have an admin, a VA that's going to come in and do the rounds for you, you can add them in here. It is free 99. Not like other sites that if you can only have one person for the price that you're paying, each additional login, you're paying additional monies. Nope. The free platform, you can add team members. The pro platform, you can add team members, and it's not going to cost you anything additional. Now, L Branch, are you still here, my love? Let me see. I think L Branch may have left, but hopefully if he watches the replay, L Branch, under the organization information, under affiliate tab. Okay, you here. Hey, boo, I thought I couldn't see you. Okay, sorry. The affiliate link is under the organization information. So if you have a link for Smart Credit, Identity IQ, Credit Dino, you can go ahead and put this in there. And then when your client comes into the Safe Client portal, they'll be able to go ahead and pick whichever credit monitoring you want. Now, just remember that Smart Credit, Identity IQ, and My Score IQ does not allow you to generate the creditor letters. And I'm going to confirm that. I know that it works for Pro, but I believe the creditor letters is specifically for Credit Dino, but I'm going to check. I'm going to check and I'm going to follow up and let you guys know. But I do know for sure that it works wonderfully with Credit Dino. I use Credit Dino, so I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I don't use the other ones anymore. Dispute option. If you guys are seeing the letters that are going out to the bureaus are being sent back, awesome. So it is exclusive to Credit Dino. Thank you so much. What was I going to say? So, before I continue, move on. L Branch, did you have another question under that tab? I wanted to make sure I answered it for you before I just jump on in, because I'll be dipping and doing over here in these streets now. Yeah, I think. Can you create a credit audit with other affiliate links? So L Branch, can you get off of mute for me and tell me, what do you mean? Are you talking about that reports tab that I was talking about? Because that's normally what people use as a credit audit. So is that what you mean?
Yeah, I came over from another software service, and each client that signs up with me, I'm able to get them like a credit analysis or a credit audit, because like 90% of them can't read the regular credit reports. Wow. And I was seeing, I use multiple links because one might not work for them, so I might use another one as another option. But I wanted to know, when we put the information into the system, does it create the same type of scenario with the credit audit?
So not at this time. So pick up what I'm putting out. You talking about DF as the software?
Say it again.
DF as the software, Dispute
Panda? Yeah.
Okay, so not an audit like their system has. We are working on getting something similar, but the reports option does give you that information. So if you're doing a first pull, you won't have that information, but when you're doing the second pull, you would. They are working on doing an analysis. The only one that gives you something similar is if your client is with Credit Dino, but it's not gonna generate what you're talking about right now. They haven't implemented that as of yet. Because I know exactly what you mean. Where you get that credit analysis that has the company's name and it breaks down this is what the scores are and all of those wonderful things. Yeah. No.
Right.
Not yet. We're working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're working. So right now, the option that you would have in real time is the actual reports, which once you load the client in, you follow what I'm saying? The first month, it wouldn't necessarily have this information in there. But once you do the second month, it would have the information because it would say what's increased, what's been deleted. You follow what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. So it'll give them like updates.
Boom.
Okay.
Boom. Okay. So just wanted to make sure you got that. So I was like, let me answer that question. So right now, no, there's not an analysis report, but we are working on vamping that out for everyone. So great question. Thanks for coming off mute for me. I appreciate you. Okay. So if you guys, I'm gonna get to the question in chat. Give me 1 second, Crumb. If you guys have mail that's coming back from your clients and it's saying that it needs to be using a different address, understand that the credit bureaus have like 7 or 8 different addresses. You can simply come in here when you see that the information has been updated on the credit report or they're getting mail returned and just update the address to the new address that's there. You hit save, and then if it changes, because they like to play hopscotch, you can change it again. Okay. Invoices gives you the ability to know the invoices that you're paying, statements that are going out for your clients, and standard credits that are available. The activity, let me move this up. Okay. The activity is for you to know the attacks. You can know the mail. So again, you can track to see when the letters are going out, as well as your attack credits. So for if all of your clients or if some of your clients are using Credit Dino and they have free rounds of attack, you will be able to see which client has a free round of attack for you to leverage. Okay. And then the integration, of course, is a pro feature. So you have the ability to use that Zapier and integrate within the software, which is totally great. Oh, also for those that upgrade to Pro, we do meet on Thursday nights with Dominique Brown. You do get the credit repair business blueprint that is included. So you get to also get Kong automations included for 30 days for free, 20% off the second month, and then it's $99 thereafter. So just to let you guys know, if you guys are wanting to have a funnel creator and all those other things together, you have the ability to make magic happen in real time. Okay. With the integration of the software going to the pro. Also, Panda is about giving you money, shmoney. Okay. So this is not a focus right now, but I'm quite sure the beginning of the year, they're going to go back to the referrals. You want to sign up for this option for Panda referral link. Because let's say you have a homegirl who wants to fix her credit. She's had a negative experience with other companies or whatever. You're like, girl, I'm already fixing my credit. Or you like, homie, hey, also, homie, you need to go ahead and fix your credit. I don't know. My husband talks weird with friends. But you can go ahead and have a conversation with your people and be like, look, I can send you this referral link. You can start fixing your credit. We can do this together, right? Because I want good credit and I want my friend to have good credit with me. So you can sign up for the referral link. Once it goes live, you will be able to get commissions off of people who are signing up for Dispute Panda off of the strength of what you say. Okay, so I definitely wanted to go ahead and touch all of those for you before we dive in. So I'm going to go back to the client list. We're going to move into loading your first client. Brittany, I hope you ready, girl, because we about to get into it. Mr. Crumb says, is it okay to send my letters in a large yellow envelope? I have like 20 pages of letters for the bureau. Okay, I'm going to say that I do know people who do that. I personally do not. I am just a little bit different in the sense of I kind of send 3 or 4 letters in one envelope at a time. That's how I personally do it. When I started, I sent each letter individually because I was like, you ain't going to lose all my letters. You're not going to lose all of my letters. But theoretically, can you lump them together? I have listened to Dominique, and Dominique has said that he will lump all of the letters for TransUnion together in one envelope and lump all of the letters for Experian for one client in one envelope. So it's completely up to you as to how you'd like to send it out. I personally like to do like 3 letters to them, like 3 different envelopes to them. So if I do double up on letters, I have done that, but I don't normally send more than 3 dispute letters in one envelope, just the way that I do business. So completely up to you guys. Any other questions that you guys have before we get started with creating a new client? Boom, boom, boom. Hope I answered that question for you. Great question, Mr. Crump. All right, Joanna, what questions you got, my love? You can come off mute.
Okay, so I have a question where, so I realize that you guys have changed the attack flow, right? I'm no longer seeing the blue and red and all of that. So if I had started it already using the red attack to be specific, do you suggest that I start over under the new guidelines that you guys have, or do I continue along where I am or where I started, or do I just pick up round whatever at the next step on the new flow?
Completely up to you. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. My clients that I already started on the red attack, I am continuing with the red attack. Like
Okay.
I'm continuing with the flow that I have. Now, that is my preference. If you want to, you can choose to say, okay, I have the pro, I have everything, I'm at round 2, let me switch. I just personally like to be methodical, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
So the red, I was already in it. I was in the flow.
Right? It threw me off when I looked at it. I'm like, what? I was kind of freaking out, but I'm like, okay.
Don't freak out. Don't freak. And here's the thing. I'm not trying to be funny. Like, okay, so for y'all real quick, little story about me. I used to work at banks. Like when I kept getting overdraft fees, I decided I was going to go work at a bank because I didn't understand why. Why y'all giving these overdraft fees? Okay. So what I noticed working in a bank, and I also worked for a cell phone company. I'm gonna date myself, y'all. I worked for Singular Wireless.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Yeah, girl, I'm a little vintage.
Okay.
But these were 2 industries that let me know more is not always best, right? Like because I would be, and this is just me being honest. When I worked at the with Singular, I remember I worked in the branch for a little bit, like in the actual stores. And if you gave the client the cell phone, right, while you were talking to them about the contract and all of the things, they weren't paying attention to you. They were like, oh, there's too many plans, there's too many this, there's too many that. I don't know what to choose. Because now they're focused on that phone, right?
Right.
And when I worked at the bank, I realized that having like all of these accounts, yes, it made it seem like, oh, we have all these options, but people don't necessarily know what's best for them, right? In real time. So what I try to tell everyone, and I've like literally seen this question in the community several times, if you have already selected a flow, you get to make the choice as to how you want to pivot and how far along you are, right? If this is month 1, you've only sent out 1 month, you can say, okay, well, we just gonna restart, right? But if you're like 2-3 months in, sis, I'm like, stick with the flow that you already had, see how it works for you, and make sure that along the way you're tracking. I'm a big tracker because you're going to have more people coming in. And if you're doing this for family, you can always say, okay, well, Susie, when you come on board, I'm going to use this new flow and see how it works. And then if you want to pivot over, you have the ability to do that.
Right. That's so funny. My sister's name is Susie.
Hey, Susie and Susie.
Right.
All right. See, it was Joanna and Susie. Okay, now. It's both of y'all. Look, don't mind
Thank you.
My pleasure, darling. My pleasure. All right. So we're going to load our test client in real time. And as I stated before, I want to point out some key features that are necessary when you are loading your client in. Now, I'm a stickler. If my client has junior, the 3rd, the 4th, the 15th, I personally add the suffix. However, it is not required. Why do I add the suffix? Is because 97% of the time, if I have the dad, I normally have the kids, I have the siblings, I have all of the things, right? So if I have a Lee Dukes Senior, a Lee Dukes Junior, a Lee Dukes the third, if I have all this information, I'll know exactly who I'm working in real time while I'm on the platform, right? So I don't get anything confused in real time. Please remember that the information that you're putting on here is actually going to be generated on the actual platform. So what that means is that your letters is going to be notated with whatever information you actually put on file here. So if you're putting the last 4 of 1, 2, 3, 4 as their social, you want to make sure that information is correct, because that is what's going to be printed on the letter. You want to make sure that the phone number is accurate. You want to make sure that the address information is also properly notated. So if they live at 1414, Mockingbird Lane, in Killeen, Texas, you want everything on its designated line so that you do not have any problems, and it's actually coming through clearly once you have loaded the client into the software. All right, and I'm gonna put my real birthday in here because I do take gifts. Thank you. Now, if you have the pro version, once you have taken all the client's information, you can literally click invite to client portal. It will send them an email, and all of their requests for their ID, their credit monitoring, all of those things will automatically go into the letter. If you do not have pro, you clicking this button ain't gonna do nothing, y'all. It ain't gonna do nothing. Nathaniel, as my friend would say, Nathaniel, okay? Now that we have that here, I like to show y'all this information. Hey, Brittany, that's right. Aquarius in the house. Okay. So, oh wait, before I move on, Joanna, do you still have the original downloaded flow, correct? That has the red and all that stuff? Because it should be on your computer. If you don't have it, let me know. I can drop it in the chat. So circle back. Okay. So when you guys are supporting your clients, there are documentation that needs to be attached to the letter to allow for the credit bureau to validate that this person that's sending this letter does belong to this name and this address, right? So if your client does not have a valid driver's license, or their driver's license has a Kentucky address, but they now live in Michigan, right? You want to use another identifier for your client. So if that driver's license doesn't work, then you can move into second position of the Social Security card or paycheck stub or W-2, birth certificate, passport, divorce decree, name change, right? All of those are identifiable documents to say I am who I say I am. Now, if you're going to leverage the information for the proof of address, the documents cannot coincide. So you want to get another document. If you are going to use a utility bill, a phone bill, a cable bill, a water bill, please know it's a rule of thumb, best practices to get an updated bill every 90 days. If you're using a lease or a mortgage statement, not necessary, okay? Sorry, guys. So that's what I want to tell you. Of course, the optional documentation is a Social Security card. It is not required. I like to take it though, because I have had someone who gave me the Social Security number, and let's not talk about it. It was a whole situation. Now, if you guys are not able to screenshot this, I want to tell you that this information is in a video. I personally lost the one that I originally had, and I went to how to add a client to Dispute Panda credit repair software and get a free attack. It's literally in the training manual. module. That's the word I'm looking for. The training module. The information is there. So I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. You do have options. So if your client doesn't have an ID, doesn't have a valid driver's license or something of that nature, there is another method you are able to help them to verify that they are who they say they are. All right. So now I'm going to show you how we upload the information. I'm going to start with a bill. So this software allows you to crop the information for your client. Hang on one second. And you can drag and drop, or if you like to search, it's completely up to you. With the software, you are able to edit it out so you're not wasting space that doesn't need to be there. We don't need this full bill, okay? They don't need to be in that person's business. They don't need to know the account number and all that information. You're just being too nosy, all right? So you can crop it out and take only the information that is necessarily needed. We need to validate the address, and we need to go ahead and validate that the bill is good for the last 90 days, right? We highlight that portion, we hit crop and save, and that is the only portion of the bill that's going to show up on the documentation. Please remember, guys, you guys are doing business. So at the end of the day, if you are in need of making sure you're managing your overhead, you don't want to have all of these documents on one single paper, because clients are very good at putting that information there. So I want to make sure that we are being thrifty with our money, and this system allows you to do it. So if you ever need to take out the account because maybe you put too much information in there, you can go ahead and remove it, and just like I did, add it back in. Bob's your uncle, easy peasy. And you're able to go ahead and upload all of the documentation. Again, the point is to make sure that everything can try and fit on one page. If it cannot, no more than 2 pages, y'all. Okay, that's my goal. That's what I'm trying to do. So I just drag and drop, plug the information in there, and we are officially good to go. So all of the client's information is up here. Once all of these boxes are grayed like you see here, that means that the system has taken the client's information. If you do not see this, take it out, re-put it in to make sure that it looks like this, just as blurry as we're seeing it now. But you want to have an idea, like you can clearly see, oh, this is an ID and this is a social security card, that type of thing, right? But you don't want to actually see the information because we're still trying to be safe. And a lot of people outsource their business to other entities. You want to make sure that you're being safe in all that you do in totality, okay? So with the Credit Dyno, remember I told you it has a one-click import. So I just come down here and click one-click import. I would have to load the client's information in, and then we are able to go ahead and start the dispute process together. So I'm going to stop sharing, enter the test account in here. And while I'm doing that, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask your questions. I'm sorry about that. Okay. No questions? Oh. I guess I did a good job. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Here we go.
I do have a question.
I might have an answer. Come on, sugar pudding. What you got?
So, I'm in the process of transitioning everything into my business name. Should I just edit all the information, like in the contact from my own personal information, to the business name, or should I just create a whole new account?
So let me make sure I understand the question. So you're saying right here under organization, you have a logo, you have a company name now?
I'm working on that. It'll be all ready in a few days.
Right. So whenever you have that, then you can come in and plug it in whenever you're ready.
Okay, and just erase my personal name.
Yep.
And just keep the same account. Okay.
So let me be clear. Your profile is still always going to be the same. So your personal name under personal information under the profile is still going to say the same. So like under my business, it still says Raquel May, but it does say the business name as Evolving EU Consulting Services. You follow what I'm saying? So under this tab where it says company name, it won't say Raquel. So like under company name, it won't say Raquel May. You can come in here and change the organization. So all the changes you're doing is going to be under the organization tab, not the profile tab.
Got it. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I just realized I ain't sharing screen, so I'm clicking on stuff like you can see. My bad, friend. My bad. But no, everything that you want to change, you're going to change it under the organization tab in settings. And when I share the screen again, I'll show you guys that information so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? Thank you, Troy. Thank you. Give me 1 second, guys. Here we go. Alrighty, let me go back to my test client. Any other question, guys, while you're waiting? Pull this information real quick. All right, all right, all right. We're going to exit out of here, dismiss this here. All right, so let me go back to the tab. Oh, cancel. And we are going to share screens.
You know what? I actually do have one more question before you start again.
No problem. Just real quick, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so you click on the organization tab. So you see the profile tab, it's always going to be your name because you're the account holder. So it's always going to be your name. You're going to click on the organization tab, and that's where you would change the company name. Make sense?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
What was your follow-up question?
I have a client that actually doesn't have an address listed on their credit report.
Mm-hmm.
Would that make it easier to dispute accounts as far as them not being able to verify them?
So remember that whenever you send out a letter, the new address that you are telling them, this is my valid address.
Yeah.
That is going to now show up on the credit report. To be quite honest, that is a method. Is it any easier or not? It all depends. I have had times where them not being able to verify the address makes it easier. I've had times where it still makes it hard. The reality of the situation is when you're doing the clear up, you also want to clear it up on the what's the best word I can use? The other credit monitoring agencies, right? So like the LexisNexis, the Sage, the Clearance,
and all
the Credco, right? So you want to make sure that you're removing all of those outdated addresses from their system as well. Because if that information is there and it's still linked to that account, then it still could give you palpitations in the process, right? So can it be helpful? Yeah, it probably could. It probably could, but it does depend. Okay, so before I dive in with any other questions that you had, Ty? No?
Thank you.
Real MVP. All right, so Malik, what question did you have, my love? Did I miss it? Come off mute, boo. I'm here.
No, it was the question about when you send out when you send out your first round of attack letters,
Mhm.
and the credit reporting agency sent back saying that the information you sent seems like it didn't come from you.
Yep, don't worry about it. I didn't forget that question. Okay, I thought you had another question.
Okay,
Nope, I didn't
okay.
forget that question.
All right,
But I
we're good.
want to show you where you can find it. So I'm going to show you where you can find it. There is an actual stall letter that's in the system, and I'm going to show you how to use it once we get in.
All right, babe.
Okay, awesome sauce. Thank you, Malik. For sometimes I'm 42. Okay, my brain don't be brainy. James, what was your question?
So you know about the documents?
Yes.
If you have a driver's license with your current address, and then also you have a utility bill also with your current address,
Right.
would these two be enough, or you still have to wait for your social security number?
No, if you have those two, remember the social security card is optional.
Okay.
So under the document tab, it says there are two required. It's the proof of ID and the proof of address. Those are the two that are required. The third option is optional. The social security card can be used in any one of those two options, but if you don't have the social security card, you don't have to use it. So hold on, let me pull up the
Okay. As a follow-up question, in that case, if the name on the utility bill doesn't have your middle name or middle initial, in the instruction says that, for best results, you want to make sure that all the information are the same on the two documents. So does it really matter if your middle initial is on
No.
more than one?
No, my mama gave me 4 names, okay? And then I decided to get married, so now I got 5, okay? You are not seeing all 5 names on any of these bills. Let's be clear. So no, it's not a deal breaker if the middle initial, first of all, not all of the credit bureaus use the full middle name. Some of them only use the middle initial. One of them does not use it at all. So that's not a deal breaker, right? That when they say they want the information to match, the first and last name needs to be on there. The full address needs to match so that it's cohesive when you're trying to send the information over. But if they're not using their middle name, that's not anything that you should be concerned about.
Okay.
All right. My pleasure. And then you had another question that said, what about if you have a company and a DBA? Can you elaborate on that question a little bit more for me?
Yeah, so let's say that you have an LLC, but you want to do this as a do business as. So
I want to make sure, are you talking about, oh, Jesus, cancel. Sorry. Are you talking about right here where you're saying the company name?
Yes, like where you have your company name if you want to sign up as a company. Yeah, so like your company, let's say it's called Advanced LLC, but you do business as Discount Credit Pro. Yeah, so how do you deal with it?
I don't want you to overcomplicate it. What name do you want on the site when someone is logging in if you're switching to Pro? So if you are switching to Pro and you wanted to say Credit Score Queen, right? Or Credit Rise LLC, or if you want to use a DBA, whatever name you want listed on there is what you would put in. Does that make sense? So yes. I don't want you to overcomplicate it. Whatever name you want to use for the platform and you want to have shown if you're using the Pro for the clients to acknowledge that this is your corporation.
Okay, thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Hold on. Okay, so I answered that question. Okay, and JM coming through in the clutch. Come on, dropping the facts. Okay, David, JM. Okay, Mr. S, you got a question? Welcome back. How can I help?
Hey, so can you hear me okay?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay, so I was able to get 2 clients that I was able to upload. I got all their documents. I proceeded to get them to the credit dyno. I got the free round and I got the letter to appear. Everything was good. And then I mailed out, I guess, the letter. So my next question was, or the question is, when selecting the type of attack, there's 4 options that come up. There's the Fury, the Fury Punch, or before going into, I guess, when it's asking you to choose a type of attack. After you choose the type of attack, there's 4 options, like the platinum, and then there's just a little bit better ones. How do you know which one would be the best for your client? And I know everybody's different. Like for myself, I have 5 inquiries that I'm trying to remove. I mean, how do I know? There's so many attacks, so I get a little thrown off.
Are you following a flow? I'm always going to go back to that main question. Did you pick a flow?
So I get confused right there at that part, right? Because there's so many of them as far as the flow. I went with the Fury Punch, or
no,
the
but the
Fury.
question. So let me make sure that I'm going through. So hang on. So originally, right? Originally we had the black, the white, the red, and the blue tag, right? Those are the flows. So if you're telling me you did Punch of Fury, that sounds like you used the new flow that we just had. Is that correct? Is this the flow you're using? Okay. So to your point, when you open up the flow, and this is jumping a little bit ahead, but in the actual flow, it tells you which attack variation you're supposed to select. So I don't want you to get confused, because if you read across the panel, it's telling you when to send the attack, the name of the attack, the variation, and then who are you sending that attack to.
Correct. So I did on that chart, I did the Punch of Fury, the regular number 2, and then for the attack frequency for 35 days.
So does that mean that this is your second round that you were sending out for your client?
No, I did one for myself. That was one for me, and then the one I did was for the client was number 1.
Okay, so let me make sure that I'm understanding. You had started a different round of attack, and then you switched to this one. Is that correct?
Oh, for my clients, I did
not talking about your client. You just said that you
Okay.
did the Punch of Fury regular, and you did the 35. So my question is, this is your second round of attack. You follow me?
Going on, yes. So I did one round for myself.
Cool. So you did a different round with a different flow, and then you jumped over to this flow. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you did flow number 2.
Correct.
Got it. So I just want to make sure that I'm understanding what I'm saying. So now what's your question after that?
Do I keep doing that one once the 35 days come up for the inquiry removal?
Since you jumped over here, yes, you want to continue with the flow based off of this round and track your progress. Does that make sense? If you would have stayed with the other round, that's fine. But since you have moved over to this flow, you want to now follow the sequence accordingly.
Gotcha. And then to follow up with that one, where it says attack frequency, and it has on the number 1, and then it has 1 at the end. Does that mean like one day, or?
This is day 1.
Okay, day 1. Okay.
Yep. So day 1, then day 35. So I am a 40 to 45 day company. Just me personally. If I get the faxes to go through, then I'm not. But the faxes don't be faxing, y'all. So with that being said, I normally run my letters every 40 to 45 days, but this system is giving you a flow for every 35 days. So if you're going to run it, that means day 35, you're sending this out. On day 70, you're coming back. You're doing the 1-click import, and then you're pulling the next round and sending the next round of letter out.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes more sense.
All right, Zolan, I'll be trying to make some sense over here. Okay.
Thank you.
So it's all pretty, and it has screenshots for y'all. I'm so excited. Okay, so we're gonna dive in. Any other questions that you guys may have before I get started with the actual client? Go back to test.
I guess one more before we move on. It's kind of a little bit, I guess, not off subject. Was that the contract ever uploaded to the community? We know we said to get back with you on Monday.
And we dropped it in the chat. Oh, you know what? Were you the one who asked me for my contract?
Yes.
Hold on, Chad. Let me get it to you. Hold on. Un momento, por favor. because I wasn't at my computer the other day. Can I just drop it this way? I feel like I can. Hold on. Because I'm wondering if I have to save it as a PDF. Give me 2 seconds, okay? Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see. Oh. Boom. Can y'all see it? Can y'all see it in the chat? Yeah. Awesome. That is my contract. Okay. It is a little bit in details. It's a little bit saucy. Okay. But I wanted to give you guys the information. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, JM. Y'all are awesome. Okay, I wanted to make sure you guys got it. JM, if you can drop the sample one as well, that'd be amazing. For you guys to have it. But that is what my contract looks like. I do watermarks and all of the good things. Okay. But that's one of my contracts. So you guys can definitely leverage it and take a look at it and whatnot and zip and do. All right. So can you guys see my screen? Let me know. Drop a pin in the chat. I feel like y'all can see. Thank you, JM. Awesome. Okay. So what'll happen, I want to go ahead and point out the good things that happens over here. Okay, dwelling. When you are finished with downloading your client's profile, this wonderful screen will pop up and it will say you have a free attack every month, every 35 days for your client. The window will pop up here for you. You have to click dismiss, and then you will see it over here on the side. Now, sometimes the system is systeming, all right, y'all? Sometimes the system be systeming and it don't remove that one is there. So I want to let y'all know, if y'all complete the confirm, all right, that round has been used, that attack has been used, and Bobby, you need to load some more money up in there, okay? But if you haven't, that is okay. I don't want you to fret. I don't want you to worry. I just want you guys to be able to see that the free attack is up there because I did use Credit Dyno as a platform. All right. So now we're going to dive into the actual credit report. So a gentleman asked earlier about, I think it was Malik, but I'm not sure, asked about the credit audit, right? And this is a little different because it doesn't give the client information as far as the breakdown of the scores, the utilization, all of the numbers to that magnitude. But I do want you to have the ability to kind of see the benefits of what what Credit Dyno has to offer. So if you're having a conversation with your family, your friends, and you're trying to give them this sauce on how to make better credit choices, okay, you are able to go ahead and look at your client's profile, your family's profile, and speak to them about their behaviors and what is hindering their growth from reaching the 700 or 800 club. All right. So if you click this little eye icon, it opens up the smart technology that Credit Dyno gives you the ability to use. So let's say this account was open. Again, we're looking at things. I know it's closed, but let's pretend this account was open, right? And you were having a conversation with your family member or your client. You're going to be able to click through and show them, okay, it's saying that this is not being reported to Equifax. It is being reported to Experian and TransUnion. We're going to look over the summary. It says the balance that you owe is $4,823, right? Now you're able to have a conversation with them like, boo, you only been on time 68%. Right? 68% of the time you've been on time. So 68% is not good because over 190 points is based on, do you pay your bill on time? You already leaving points on the floor, my love. I need you to go ahead and pick them up, put in your pocket, right? You're able to have this clear, educated conversation with them about the importance, and not only just the importance because it's 35% of your score, but a quantifiable number that says this is worth over 190 points, right? So if we're looking at the fact that you're only at 68%, you're not getting the full 190 points because you have some missed payments that are there, right? But now you can dive in a little further and talk about the account health. So the credit limit is $4,000. You're using $4,823. My love, you're using more than 100% of this account, like 120 something percent that you're using. Let's talk about it. In order for us to tackle this is now we're going to have a conversation with them of the goal right now when you leave me is to create a plan to pay down $800 to get you to actually what your credit limit is, right? Because utilization is over 160 points. You're over that utilization quarter. That means you're not getting that max points that you can get just for being a good paybacker, right? Or good debt manager. Let's put it that way. That's what I'm going to use. A good debt manager. So you're able to dive into the report and have a holistic conversation with your client, and you can tell them when it opened, and then you can have a real heart-to-heart with them, like, hey, I see that in August is when you fell late. What was going on in August of 2022? It was the panoramas, right? It wasn't just the pandemic. It was the panoramas, right? You were in the house, you were buying pizza, and the money wasn't money, right? You can have that conversation and then start talking about how to build a plan, a nest egg, things of that nature, right? So this gives you a real deep dive into how you're able to have these curated conversations about the file, right? Question in the chat was, so on the credits for using Credit Dino, let's say we are just starting out and helping our family. Do we get a free attack for every month they pay for Credit Dino? And how does that link to our account? Also, if I'm helping my mom and dad, so they need to, okay, so Credit Dino is individualized. So let me start from the bottom, work my way up. Credit Dino is individualized. So each person needs to have their own credit monitoring because it's based off of their social, their name, their address, their information. Mom and dad does not have a joint credit report. They have their own individual credit reports. Therefore, they need to get their own individual accounts. I'm not quite sure when you say, how does it link to our account? So if you can come off mute, Ginger, so you can clarify that part, it'd be great. And yes, as long as they keep the Credit Dino every single month, they will get a back.
Okay, so yeah, so my question about the credits is like, if I set up and went to the pro and was helping them, if they're getting a credit for an attack for using Credit Dino, how do I know they've gotten that credit? Basically,
it shows right here on the screen.
Okay, so it does flow into me as long as I have them like linked as a client.
So I want to make sure I'm not quite sure if I'm answering the right question. So are you saying that you have imported their credit report into the system and you want to make sure you get the free attack? Is that the specific question?
That's basically what I'm saying. Like I haven't linked them yet. I'm just getting started with working through this program myself. But you know, I have several family members that are, you know, working on their
start
credit.
with family, Ginger. Start with family.
Well, and that, you know, and that's my point is, you know, see if I can help them. And so if I do import them through Credit Dino, that free credit does show up that way. So I know that you get that. Okay. That was my main concern. Okay.
Yes. You want to get your affiliate link first and send them your affiliate link so you can get your $8 for the $29 that they're paying every single month. But as long as they do the $29.99 every single month, when you go and click one-click import, it will automatically give you a free round of attack per person.
Okay.
Great question. Great question. How do I get to this PDF you have up right now? Edwina, are you talking about this PDF right here? I might be saying your name wrong. I'm so sorry. Okay, so if you click on the training tab, so hold on one second. If you click on this training tab, it will take you to the top of the training tab module. And if you click free download, it will have the updated flow for you. So again, you do not have to purchase anything. If you go to Dispute Panda, you click on the training tab, it will open the training tab for you guys. And at the top of the module, it says free download, and you will be able to download the attacks right here. So this attack that I'm looking at is literally live now, right now. We didn't know if it was live right now. I decided to push the button in real time with y'all, and boom, it gave it to me. It gave it to me. My pleasure, my pleasure. Okay. So no, you do not need, now, you do not need to purchase Pro in order to view this attack flow. Nope, nope, nope. We don't upcharge for everything, honey. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, ma'am. All right. How do I download your contract PDF? I got a sample PDF. I think I put my contract in the chat. Hold on one second. There we go. There we go. All right. So it looks like everyone's on top. Okay. So now we're going to get back into this thing. Now, that's if you want to have a conversation with your client. Now, if you guys are looking at the screen, I want to start from the top to the bottom. I just want to jump in because I love me some credits. I know, my apologies on my excitement. The top flow goes about inquiries. One of the things, and this is just best practice, when you are looking to support your client, the one thing you want to do is you don't want to dispute a credit inquiry that is linked to an open and active account. You do not want to do that, okay? So when it comes to inquiries, it is not auto-selected for you. You do have to do the research. You can do Control F, you can do Command F, put the name in here, and then be able to see how many times it shows up. If you see that it shows up not just here, but down here in this segment, and it says open, do not dispute the profile. Do not dispute it, because you run the risk of closing your client's open and active account. You do not want to do harm. So that is one of the things that you want to stay away from. So the system does not auto respond this at this present time. That doesn't mean as it grows, it will not do that for you. It will. I'm quite sure. But right now, you have to manually select the information. You can see in totality, or you can see the information on specific accounts for that specific collections agency, or sorry, credit bureau department, right? If you have public information, child support, lien, bankruptcies, all of the things, darling, you can go ahead and select the information here. If your client says, nope, I don't want to fight with the bankruptcy right now, you can uncheck it. And that way this does not get included in the attack flow that you elect to have for your for that month. If you are a person that is already seasoned, so I'm talking to my ginger people, not Ginger the person, sorry, but spicy people who've been in the credit world a little bit, and they may have some 1099 letters, or they may have some late letters that they have used and they have seen results. You can actually create a template so that if you want to use that letter in the future, you have the ability to do so. So if you're using consumer law coding, and you're like, okay, 152023A says subsection B, whatever, you can plug it in here and go ahead and hit use template. And instead of that particular account generating the same punch of fury or round kick attack, right? It will actually generate just that custom letter that you have written. If you do not want to do that and you want the system to do what the system does, you can go ahead and hit remove, and you're good to go in that space, right? But it is imperative that you scroll through, you look at what's going on, and like right here, this is saying, although this account contains late payment, removing it may affect your clients due to the amount of late payments that are there. Hold on. Just seeing the attack flow. Were you trying to show us something else in Dispute Panda? Can you guys see my screen right now or no? Hold on, let me stop sharing.
No, we wasn't able to see for like 10 minutes, I think.
What? I'm so glad somebody said something. My bad, honey bunny. Hold on. Here we go. Can you guys see now?
Yes.
Wonderful. Sorry about that confusion. Thank you, James and Ginger. I appreciate you gathering me. Okay. So let me go back over. At the top, the inquiries are listed. you do have the ability to see all the inquiries, or you can only see one credit bureau at the time. You want to make sure that you do control find, and you make sure that you are not disputing an inquiry that is linked to an open and active account for best practices, because you run the risk of actually getting that account closed for your client. So you don't want to do that. You have bankruptcy, which is, we have public records, bankruptcies, liens, child support. All of that information will show up here. You can choose to include it in the dispute, or you can choose not to do it. Okay. So James, you said yours does not show the inquiry tab. What do you mean? Because everyone should have this. If there's no inquiries, then nothing will be under that tab.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm seeing. Mine shows only the numbers and then straight away to the public records.
So
Is
there's
that-
nothing under this area, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means your client has no inquiries. That's not something you have to dispute,
Okay.
because it's pulling the information from the credit report. So if they don't have any inquiries, it's just not showing up there for you.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I love that question. I was like, who ain't got no inquiries? Your people are good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't worry about it. Okay. So sorry. Okay. So since I have the screen up, I wanted to show you guys. Were you guys able to see this portion that I was talking about earlier, or you weren't able to see it? Let me know. Yes, you were able to see it? Oh, no. Okay. So this is what I was talking about when I was saying, so you can click on the I button. I'm so glad that you said that. Okay. You can click on the I button and you can have a conversation with your client about the account, right? So I was looking at the Capital One. So let me open up the Capital One. So the Capital One for the client, I'm able to go ahead and look at the history. I can see when they opened the account. I can see specifically when they were able to be, when they started being late, right, at 30 days, and then it continued growing. We can have a conversation and explain to them, hey, 190 plus points is based on you paying on time. Think about the fact that you're only at a 68% out of 190. You're not doing well, my love, right? You're going to have I'm sorry, a 68% out of 100. You're not getting the full points because of the fact that your payments are behind. So if you're speaking to a client and this is an open account, you're going to educate them that this is imperative for you to work on the payment history. Then you're going to talk to them about the account history. We're looking at your credit limit and we're looking at what your balances are. You follow what I'm saying? So now you're able to have a conversation with them and be like, hey, wait a minute, you're over your limit. This is affecting your credit score because your credit score, your utilization is 30%, which equals over 160 points. You're not managing the account properly. Let's talk about how we can get you out of this situation. How much can you pay down on this quickly enough to at least get you to your credit limit, right? And that way you're able to talk to them about the holistic health of your particular account. When I was talking to you guys about the templates, this is a free form template. So if you have your own letters, if you guys have already been in the industry that you utilize, you love it, you love how it feels, you can plug the information in here and the system will go ahead and allow you to utilize that particular template. And instead of, let's say, the punch of fury or the round kick attack, it will only generate the letter that you put in here or whatever template, so you can save it. So for instance, I have a 1099 letter. I can legit tell the system, this particular account, I don't want you to dispute like this. I want you to dispute it specifically in this manner. And that way the punch of fury will go out for all of the other accounts, but for this specific account, it will generate the template that I gave it to use. So just want to tell you guys that for you guys who might be a little bit more seasoned out here dipping and doing. All right. Now, if you guys scroll down, there is an option for Cornerstone. All right. So this is telling you, you'll see these little icons. It's telling you, hey, if you dispute this, you run the risk of affecting your client where this account is completely removed, even though they have late payments. So I'm going to give you guys a tip and a flow. what you would do if your client has a late payment, you don't want to select the option right away for them to go through the dispute round. What you want to do is do a good faith letter first, and then select the late payment letter that's in the system. And I'm going to show you guys how to get to these letters. So just hang tight. I'm really appreciative that you guys have been hanging out with me. But basically what you want to do is to make sure that you're reviewing the holistic file of your client's portfolio and having a conversation about, you know, is this safe for me to dispute or not? Rule of thumb is if it's open, your method of attack is going to be slightly different than if the claim is closed, right? Because you're not really worried about them removing a closed account unless they don't have a lot of history. And in that conversation, you're going to be talking about building credit with your client, which we're going to dive into a little bit later. Okay. So in order for this attack to go from gray to black, you want to hit save filter, and it will take you to the system where you are able to go ahead and start disputing. So, Mr. Malik, if you are here really quickly before we pick the round of attack, I want to tell you that in your particular situation, if TransUnion, Equifax, or anything has already sent you a letter that's trying to stall, you would go to the static letters. So static letters, guys, are free as long as you have money in your bucket. So that means you can send out a free goodwill letter for all your clients' account. It does not charge you anything as long as you have money in your bucket, right? You can do a pay for delete. You can do a bankruptcy court. You can do all of these method of verifications. A lot of them you don't necessarily have to use with the new flow, but I just wanted you guys to see it. But specifically, if your client gets a stall letter, and this is why I definitely recommend that before you decide to do someone else's credit, you want to do your own so you can educate them on what they're going to see, how it's going to look, what's the turnaround time. I make a video. So I have a video for my clients. I have a contact video. I have a what to expect video. So in that email communication that's going out to my clients, they are already aware before one round of letter goes out. They're getting this information that says, hey, my love, you might get a stall. Here's what it looks like. This is what the verbiage is, right? But what you would do, and I have a letter that I use, but what you would do in the software is you would use the stall letter, and you would click on this letter, and you will plug in the information of the dispute letter, the date that you sent out that round. If you guys have the pro version, you're able to add that original letter here. And then when you hit confirm, you're able to go ahead and send out the stall letter with the original letters that you had all together. And you will send out that round of disputes to say, at least that's the method I use, is I don't move on forward to the next round of disputes until you have worked on the first thing I asked you for. Okay, I treat you like you a baby. We not playing these games, all right? So the static letters are free. Personal information letters, they're letters to the third party. So you guys will see what I was showing you guys in the flow where it says static letters. This is the static letter that you would send in conjunction with the punch of fury that we were using. So for the new flow that is out, the very first letter that goes out is punch of fury, supreme boosted. You are also selecting creditor letters if you have the pro and you have credit dyno, okay? And the option that you're going to select is handwritten, not standard. And then you're going to send it out first class mail. So if you guys remember the old flow, which I'll flip over to, the first round of attacks actually went out as certified mail. This time they're saying you do not. It's all regular mail that's going through, that you're able to send out for your client. So you would come here, you would hit punch of fury, you would hit handwritten, and then you would hit supreme boosted. You would select start. You do confirm. and the letters would be generated for you. If you guys have the Pro, you would just click that box that says Pro. It will do the creditor letters for you. And then you would then go back in and do the static attack letters to LexisNexis, Innovis, LIC, and all of the other amazing individuals. All right. So if you are using the system to mail out your letters, you want to make sure that you have enough money in your bucket. If you're like me and you just keep what you need in there, okay, in the name of Jesus, you're able to go ahead and make the adjustments here. So you'll see that it has the letters are first class mail. It is double-sided. The color is in black and white. You don't need any color based on the new plan. And then you can hit pay and mail, and it will send off the letter for you. If you want it to be certified mail, because you just like to have a certified mail, you can click that option and it will also send that information over for you, right? But if you are like me, you just click the download button, print it out, and you hand it over to your fellas, your children, because they live here rent free, okay? And you make them stuff the envelopes and put the stamps on there, okay? So that's completely up to you. So we have now gone through the full onboarding. We have completed the first round of attacks for your clients. And you can now click on the history tab. It will show you that you just generated letters today. To go out, you can see the invoice. Oh, also under the history tab, this is where you can see the credit report. You can see the credit score variation, and you can also see invoices. And if you did something extra, like you sent out a static attack or anything like that, you are able to go ahead and leave a note if you have the Pro version here. All right. Question in the chat is, how do you know your letters have been sent? So again, if you're using the certified mail, Charles, you're able to go ahead and get a tracking number that's in the system. Otherwise, there's no tracking system. It does give a letter ID once it has been generated. Other than that, if you're like me and you're a control freak, you can download and print it out yourself and mail the letters off yourself. But the only way for you to track it is if you're using the certified mail. With the software, do you need to freeze secondary bureaus? No, Dominique's method does not require you to freeze secondary bureaus at all. There's no need to do that. Using the software to mail out, the signatures are not required. So normally, I have sent, so let me be transparent. I have sent letters out without signatures and just included the identifying factors. I have gotten disputes done. However, I have the Pro version, so my contracts are on file. So therefore, their signatures are there on the letters, just for me. Are you paying your kids to provide? Yes, I'm paying my kids, because if I don't pay them, Ginger, they act like they don't know how to show up to work. I pay them, okay? I pay my daughter $25 to do the dispute letters for me, and I pay my son $25 to stuff and stamp. So it's a twofer, okay? He got to stuff and stamp. If he only stuff, he only get $10, okay? If he only stamp, he only get $10. I'm in the money making business, okay? We don't play over here at Trixie's. So yes, I do pay them to show up and show out. How do you know that? Oh, I already said that. I read that. Ginger. Great taxes. Yes, child, because they need to give me any breaks I possibly can. And my middle son just turned 18, so he's aging out and having the audacity to leave the house. So my tax breaks ain't gonna be breaking. I can't believe it. Okay. I have reached settlement agreement with a creditor and currently in a payment plan. Do I need to send a creditor a letter to them even with a current payment plan ongoing? So what I would say, I'm going to say personally, I would not send them a letter if I'm not looking to dispute that particular creditor, right? If you're saying you've entered into the agreement, you want to honor the agreement that you've entered into, then that particular person you would uncheck so that no letters get generated for that particular person. So for instance, if you have a settlement agreement with Bank of America, you're already in a good standings, y'all are doing what y'all are doing, dipping and doing. When I go to send out my punch of fury, I would be unchecking the box. I would be going here and unchecking the box for that particular creditor so that nothing is generated for them because you're not disputing. I'm sorry, you can choose to dispute with the credit bureau. I personally wouldn't, because you're already in a settlement agreement with them. Does that make sense? And you're wanting to honor that agreement. If you think that there is something that could be outdated or incorrect or error-wise, I personally would say to dispute with the credit bureau, but not send anything to the creditor, so that you don't have any isms and schisms, because they like to pull some stuff back, y'all. Okay, they like to pull some stuff back, but it depends on how intense you want to be, right? So if you're saying that you don't want to agree to the settlement, you don't want to do that, then you might want to go ahead and continue the process, but completely up to you. All right, so I've answered, excuse me. Please forgive me. I'm gonna open the floor for questions for the next 10 to 15. Any questions that I did not answer, please, please, please come off of mute, ask the questions. Don't forget, I'm gonna stress this again, to join the community, okay? Excuse me, excuse me. Charles, when you say they won't remove the late payment, how many rounds have you done so far? Okay, so you've done 5 rounds that have been completed. Give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. So normally, oh, that's a good question. So there's several things. Have you disputed with the creditor as well as with the credit bureau? When you said you've done 5 rounds? That would be my first question. Second question, have you done the good faith letter or the goodwill letter? My apologies. Have you done the goodwill letter? That would be my next thing, is to do the goodwill letter. Third thing would be, have you just the creditor, and yes, I have, don't please remove letter. I don't know what that means, Charles, I'm sorry. And the third question that I would ask is, did you go ahead and send a message to the CEO? Those are 3 methods that I use. Goodwill letter, I'm sending the dispute round to the creditor as well as to the credit bureau, and I'm sending a letter to the CEO. You have done a goodwill letter, okay, and you have sent a letter to the creditor as well as to the credit bureau. So you've done both. The next, okay, so I would suggest you to do both. And then the next thing that I would suggest is that same goodwill letter you have, I would suggest you to send it to the CEO as well as the company, so that you can go ahead and get some support. Sometimes that does make a lot of traction because they know that people are looking to get some support as it pertains to late payments and stuff like that. So those are my 3 power of attacks. If I can't get it done, then more than likely, especially if I'm able to validate the debt, that late payment may just be there. And remember that the late payments really only affect your clients for 24 years in that 24 months in that calculation. So if it's outside of that 3-year window, I'm not really pressed about it. That 24-month to 3-year window, I'm not really pressed about the late payments. I'm focusing on other stuff that's on the credit report. We're talking about not doing it again, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and spend 3 years and you were late 5 years ago. Like, especially if the account is now in good standings and the account is super old, like removing that account might actually do damage to my client's profile, like I'm gonna pick my battle in like a real way. I hope that makes sense. Any other questions, guys? Great questions, Charles. I sent out my first round personal, and I sent only bankruptcy to secondary because I thought I was following instructions. Did I hurt myself? Tim, can you come off mute for me, my love? I want to make sure that I'm answering the question properly because I have some additional questions to what you asking. Got some questions. Tim?
Hello.
Hey, Tim. Hey.
Hi.
How you doing? Okay, so what round did you send off first?
I sent my first round off for my personal. You know, I'm doing it for
I
myself.
understand. What attack flow did you use?
I used the oh, hold up. If I'm not mistaken, it was the red one. I know that. Yes, attack. Yes.
Okay, so you're saying you did the pinwheel super boosted.
Yes.
And when you say personal, I want to make sure I understand, what does that mean?
Just my for myself, not for anybody.
Okay, that's fine.
I just started. So
okay.
I sent everything off, you know, everything that was checked, I sent off to the regular bureaus.
Okay.
But looking at YouTube, I thought I heard them say, and I probably was wrong. I thought I heard them say, when you send to LexisNexis and all of those, just send the bankruptcy first.
No, so excuse me. If you're sending off information to LexisNexis and Innovis, you can choose to send that information off. I've never done just the bankruptcy first. So yeah, I wouldn't.
Did I kind of mess myself over with that?
Not that I know of. Again, I'm just going off of what you're saying. So
right.
when we're going to the dispute tab, you're saying all of the accounts that were negative were checked.
Right.
Okay. And then you went to the attack, you hit save, you went to the attack, and you hit the pinwheel super boosted as your first round.
Correct.
Okay. And then after you did that, you went back to the static letters and you generated static letters also, or you did not?
Yes, I did. But when I did the static letters, I only did for the bankruptcy.
Okay, so you're saying that you went back to dispute and you cleared out all the other accounts and only checked bankruptcy?
Correct.
Okay. I don't feel that you messed yourself up. You just only gave them one thing to look at.
So do I wait, or?
I would definitely still wait for a response from them. There is not, so I want to clarify, the 35-day window is with the credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Innovis.
Oh, okay.
That is not the wait time with the secondary agencies.
Okay.
So if you want to send another letter at day 15 and you want to select all of the accounts and send it to Lexis, you can. The reality of the situation is it's completely up to, because the secondary companies do not have the same rigid guidelines that the credit bureaus do.
Okay. Thank you so much for that.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And just for record, I send out personal information letters on day 1, day 10, day 30, and then every 30 days thereafter. I send it out until all of the addresses are off for my client if they're with me for that time frame, right?
So in you said
I did 1. So let me be clear. I send out the personal information letter to my client on day 1. But my first round of attack does not go out to my client until my day 3, because my state has a 3-day right to basically cancel, right? So the first thing that I do that is free for me, right, that makes my client gets movement, is I will send out the personal information letter to all the secondary agencies as well as the credit bureau.
Okay.
And then on my day 3, I then send out the first round of attack. Does that follow?
I already sent out the first round. I guess I just wait till date. Well, for the regular credit bureaus, just wait 30 days before I send out another
round of
person.
attack. But the personal letter I send out, like I said, doesn't interfere because it's not a dispute letter. That personal information is just saying, this is my name, this is my address, this is what I do.
Okay.
Everything else is invalid, right? So that's my flow because of, again, I follow my state guidelines. I'm supposed to wait 3 days before I do anything. You ain't gonna come get me, big fella. So that's what I do for the first round. But so in essence, my day 3 is my day 1 for the system, right? So my day 1 is after I have spoken to my client, I've had a consultation with them, I've gotten to know them, they've uploaded, especially if they've uploaded the documents on that day, I am sending out the personal information letter on that day. Okay. However, I'm not disputing anything until my state agreement says they have the right to cancel at day 3. They have 3 days to cancel. So that means I'm not doing no work till after 3 days. You follow what I'm saying? Because you can leave me at the debt. Like, you're just not gonna leave me on the side of the road. So I will do the personal information letter because they will start to get responses back. And that's even before the first round goes out. So they're liking that they're getting this announcement, they're getting this information. They like that, right? So first day 1 for me, when they upload their information, I'm sending out the personal information. It's your own file that you're working. So your personal information can go out on day 1. Your first round of attack can go out on day 1 because you're working your own file. And then on day 10, you can send another personal information letter. If you just want to send it to the third-party bureaus, you can do that as well. Okay. And then I normally send it out. Now, bear in mind, every letter that's generated for you guys within this software, it has a personal information touch point. So every single round of attack will go out with, this is my name and this is my address. Correct. Right? With every single round. But I personally just know that they like to play games with the addresses. Okay. I still got my mama address on there, y'all, and I'm grown. My mama done moved 3 times. She done moved on with the Lord, and her address still on my tax. They holding on for their life. Okay. So yeah, you don't have to wait. When it comes to the secondary bureaus, you do not have to wait as long. Okay. At all right. Great question. And no problem. Thank you, Tim. I love it. Any other questions, guys? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Any other questions? Nope. Nope. Well, I know y'all done hung out with me. Brittany, before I let you go, do you use handwriting font for the statics? You can use handwriting fonts for the statics. You don't have to. It's completely up to you. But I normally make the flow consistent. So I will go ahead and use handwrite for round 1. If you're doing round 1 punch of fury and you're doing the new attack flow, you are going to select handwritten for those options. But great question. But Brittany, question. Were you able to do your first round? Did you have any questions with the flow? Where are you at? Talk to me. Oh no, why you can't talk? I don't know, Brittany. I'm looking. Where you at? What questions?
So hold on, I'm gonna double check something real quick and then I'll come back to my question.
Okay, no problem, my love.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else have any other questions? I'm making pizza. Not Charles saying he making pizza. I'm done. My kids had pizza today. I was a bad mom. Please pray for me. I actually was not. My husband decided to buy pizza, so come get him. Okay. I was going to make some stew. That's what I was gonna make. Is it bad if you don't start that way, but you use handwritten now? Or should I just leave it as? Okay, so in the new flow, there's certain times you're going to use handwritten and there's certain times you're not. So if you're looking at the new flow, you're using handwritten on 1, round 1, round 3, round 5. So as you can see in the new flow, you're still not using handwritten on every single round. So I don't necessarily think you have to be concerned. Transparency, because I'm a realist. There has been several ones that I have completed and I did not click handwritten because I'm not used to it. Okay. And I still got some results. So there's that. To get a copy of this flow, you would go to the training tab. At the very top of the training tab, it will say free download, and it will download this new attack flow for you. Yes, this is recorded, guys, and you are able to go ahead and see it on the YouTube. That's why I'm trying to make sure that my face is looking facey, okay? Because it's up there for the people to see in the name of Jesus. All right, JM come through with the YouTube plug. All right. Yeah, I put a little lip gloss on for you. Not a lot now. Not a lot, because I can't keep up with a big fellow. My niece is the glam squad, and she ain't brought her behind over here. So y'all ain't been getting glam, okay? Y'all getting some good moisturized lips and cheeks. That's what y'all getting. That you got it, Charles. I've got my lip gloss on. My lip gloss be popping. My lip gloss be cool. Okay. No, but for real. Yep. So if you go to the training tab, the new flow is there. For all of you guys that have the old flows, please do not feel like you have to jump ship. This is just a new method that's out here. So you can choose to go ahead and pivot if you're at month 4 or month 5, or you can choose to follow the flow that you already have. Okay. I can tell you what I'm doing. My new people that are coming on, I'm using the new flow. The old school people that have been riding the wave with me, honey, they riding that original wave. And remember, no matter which flow you have, you get 12 rounds of attack. So that's 1 full year that you can service the client and give them education at the same time. Come on, get into it. That's what I had. All right, so it is almost. Did you think of another question, Brittany? Did you think of your question? No? Okay, you good? You good, girl? Okay.
I think I got one.
Okay, come on, Mr. S. What you got?
So I just have right now at this point, inquiries.
Mm-hmm.
How would I, or which round of attack would I use for that?
It doesn't matter. Okay, so I think that you're trying to curtail it so that your attack rounds are specific to inquiry. So I want to take you into the software so you can actually see the information that's there. So for the pinwheel attack, they give you 7 negative accounts up to 10 inquiries, right? For the pinwheel attack. For the punch of fury, they have personal information, inquiries are being attacked, and then everything else. For the round kick, they're attacking up to 5 accounts and up to 9 inquiries. So when you're saying which one works better for me, the reality of the situation is that they gave you a curated flow for you to flow through. If you're saying that your primary goal is only inquiry attack, you are going to have to go in and create a flow specifically to inquiry attacks, because what we're looking at is the profile holistically, if that makes any sense. So when we're giving you attack flows, it's not just attacking inquiries, it's attacking late payments, it's attacking the errors with the Metro 2 coding that's in there. So it's not just specific to an attack for one specific flow. So if you're saying, hey, I just want to make sure that all I'm focusing on is inquiries, then these letters are the letters that are highlighting the inquiries. Pinwheel, punch of fury, round attack.
Gotcha. Yeah, because when I selected one of them for the client, it brought up, it disputed the old addresses automatically. It brought up other ones, and so it was something that I didn't catch, and it automatically caught it. So that was awesome.
Right. So because the attack rounds are not, they're not a flow that says this is only for inquiry. They're looking at the holistic profile of your client. So with you saying, I only have this one thing, that's not what the attacks are doing. The attacks are telling you which ones are going to be proficient. So you're going to have to pick a flow and go.
Gotcha.
Unless you're wanting to make your own flow, which means that you would then have to track what has been removed. So let's say you decide, okay, this month I'm gonna do pinwheel, right? I'm gonna do pinwheel attack. I'm gonna do 7 negative accounts. I don't have any negative accounts, so all it's gonna do is my inquiries. Maybe that's true, right? If you have no negative items and all you have inquiries, that letter is gonna generate just the personal inquiries. Then you can write down, okay, this is what I was able to get removed.
Gotcha.
You follow what I'm saying? But if you're
Yes, that
wanting
makes sense.
to specialize in one particular area, then my recommendation would be for you to track the flows that you're electing, but you want to look at what each flow is telling you it's going to be highlighting, if that makes any sense.
Yes, I do appreciate that.
My pleasure, y'all. Be trying to make sense on Thursdays. Y'all got an extra day on Monday. Like, look at y'all. This is being great. Ginger says she has one. Is there a reason for some of the attack lines on the flow being yellow? Are you talking about this? I think it was just to break up the monotony. So like the first one, if you can see, it's yellow, but it's telling you it's certified mail. And then down here, it's breaking up the monotony again because the flow changes. So if you look round kick 1, it says not a color is no, but then here it changes to yes, right? So it's to point out that there's a change in how that particular flow goes so that you're aware of it, is what I think is the best verbiage. Also, I think around this round is when they originally recommended for you to do the CFPB complaint, is around round 5. 5 or 6 is where I think before it was round 6, now it's round 5 because you have a collective of information. But that's basically the only difference that I see, is that it changes in variation on from double to single. And then all of these were no, but then this is yes for colored. And then again, it's changing again here because this was a return to sender no, but return to sender is yes, and this is also certified. So it's trying to call your attention to the variation that is listed. Does that make sense? All right, good catch. Look at you being all smart or whatever. Yes, let's do it. Last question. If we want to preview our letters, do we just click download like you used to mail your letters? So are you saying that you want to see the letters before you mail it? Yes. Okay. So no, you would click the download button and you'll be able to see all the letters that are in there. If you are choosing the mail option, you can still download and you can still click mail. Yeah, you can still click mail out. Because I know some people who mail it out themselves and they also allow the system to mail it out. Why? Because they balling. I don't know. That's what they've done. I have generated my first personal information attack and I love them. Come on, James. Come on, James. All right. So I have kept y'all hostage, okay? And I appreciate y'all for riding this wave. You can reach customer service 24/7, 7 days a week. You can reach Raquel Monday and Wednesday. All right. If you guys have any questions or concerns, you can definitely hit me up. I'm on all of these social media platforms, Raquel May David, and I am so happy to be here to support you guys. Please, I'm gonna have JM drop a couple of things in the chat. Do not forget to sign up for the community. If you guys have questions, they're like-minded people that are all building their brand and trying to become beasts in these credit streets. I want to make sure that you have a community that understands, knows, and wants to grow with you. So definitely tap in there. Send the link. JM or David, can you drop the link, love? Ooh, y'all, my voice was a little shaky this afternoon. I'm glad I had it for y'all. Hold on. I'm going to JM is going to drop the link in the chat for the community. Did you guys grab the YouTube video link for you guys to watch the replay? Want to make sure you have it. All right, JM, drop that again. So I'm talking about my admin be admin. Come on, moderator. All right. So with that being said, if you guys have any questions, concerns, comments. Oh, my IG, sure. So my IG, you can search by my name, or it's actually Coach Raquel _ TV. My TV show is about to launch, y'all, and I'm super excited. So this is my name on IG, and you guys can find me in these streets. Other than that, if you guys, and again, my traditional name is on Facebook. If you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, please let me know. I really appreciate you guys spending this time with me, and I'm going to let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. JM, as always, thank you for being amazing. David Sanchez, my co-host, thank you for being here. For all of you amazing credit builders, right? You guys are out here, you're doing great for yourselves. You want to help your family and your community. I just want to say thank you for picking up the torch and wanting to be the change that everyone sees.
Hey, Raquel.
Hey, what? Oh, you want to talk to me, Malik? What's up, bro?
Hey, you know I had one more question for you.
Pull on up with the push.
I promise you can go after this one. You can give your disappearing spill once again.
Okay. No. Next time I'm just going, I'm gonna do a Dominique and click. That's
Hey, I noticed that when I selected the handwritten option, is there does the system automatically pick the font? Okay, so we can't go in there and change the font or anything. They automatically pick this font.
You know what? That's a good. Hold on one second. I'm going to,
because I don't want it to get into a contest with these companies where they coming back saying I can't make out this handwriting.
So I'm going to be clear. The font ain't that crazy. Okay, they can make out the handwriting. It is very clear. It's not like a 5-year-old. I do believe you can adjust the font. Hold on, let me go to the client.
Because I can read it.
Yeah, I do. Hold on one second. Charles says you can change the font. Y'all are better than me, child. I ain't trying to change it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see where it says you can change the font, but that's a good question. I'll go ahead and ask Dom, and I will follow up with you guys. But I have not had a problem with the font being illegible.
Gotcha.
I have not had a problem with that at all. So I wouldn't think that's a crazy concern. Charles, you said that you can. It says the AI uses different kinds of fonts. So they are all readable. Come on, somebody. JM says that the AI use different kinds of handwritten fonts.
And I noticed that as well.
You can change it. So Charles, can you walk me through how we change it? You know, I'm all about a community now. And Charles, darling. Because if not, what I'll do is I'll play with it. Because again, I just let the system do. I can tell you that the handwritten font is not the same every time, because I just did a round over the weekend while I was in Tennessee, and I was supposed to be in Tennessee, but I was out there working. So I noticed I did 4 clients, and the handwritten font wasn't the same for each one of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So that much I do know, that it does change sequence. Again, the AI technology be AI in y'all, okay? But other than that, if you got any other questions you got, Mr. Malik?
No, ma'am.
Good questions. You be having some good, come on back.
No, I don't have
But no, other than that, it says next call, we will show a sample of the, because I cannot show the sample of my clients, but we will go ahead and show a sample of the font, and I think JM will have some. So I'll have it on the next call, on Wednesday call, so you guys will be able to look at that as well. Okay. All right. If all hearts and minds are clear, I want to say thank you so much for jumping in. JM, thank you so much for being so amazing. And help me out. David, thanks again. You guys have an amazing remainder of your night. Bye.